Koziol, Iowa. I've invited a guest who's had 30 years of experience in Chicago public schools, and I'd like to relinquish my time to Mr. Ronvik to speak in my 2-minute slot, even though I had some wonderful comments from my alderman that I'd like to share with your support of our neighborhood. Mr. Ronvik, please take my time.
My name is Rick Ronvik.
Can you spell your last name, please?
R-O-N-V-I-K. I was the director of the Gifted Child Program in the Chicago public school system for 30 years. I'm on the advisory board for the Center for Talent Development at Northwestern University, and I was a member of the Illinois State Board of Education's Advanced Advisory Council on Gifted Education. Just a little background, in 1964, legislation was passed in Illinois to fund gifted child programs, first time that it was ever done in the state. I was asked to be the director of that program, and with a staff we began building programs. It was categorical funding for the program, meaning it could only be spent on the gifted and talented, which has gone by the boards now. It was put into a block grant later, and then under our current governor, it was ended. We started to build these programs, building by building, with the principals and the teachers and parents. After 30 years, I retired from the program in 1994. At that time, we had developed 630 programs serving more than 22,000 students in the Chicago system. And these programs included regional gifted centers in 9 schools.
Please conclude.
The programs for educable mentally handicapped children and for gifted children exist solely because there's a phenomenon in the distribution of intellectual ability in humans. And this requires schools to make precise curricular adjustments to specific students with specific needs. It's called special ed. When we set up these regional centers, there were schools within a school, like the Bell, and there were standalones, like the Leonard and the Edison. They were not made by philosophical considerations as to which was the best model. They were simply that the schools that we had to use were in some cases so small that it made for a standalone. Opinions differ on which is the better model. I've heard arguments from the school within a school people that if gifted are with regular students, it's a healthier environment. But students in gifted programs are regular kids. They have higher aptitude and in most cases higher achievement, but they're just kids. If the standalone is not healthy, then Northside Prep, the State Science and Math Academy in Aurora, Harvard University, Northwestern University aren't healthy. And that's absurd. They're not only healthy, but they're intellectually stimulating. The school within a school can work, but they have rough edges. I visited all the schools within a school centers and all of the standalones many times in Chicago. In the school within a school model, the gifted kids were sometimes called the eggheads, and even worse, the smartasses. They would retaliate by calling the regular kids in the school, the neighborhood kids, the tards, as in retard. Or there was teacher sarcasm from the teachers that weren't in the gifted program. Oh, you're one of the gifted. Well, kids don't need this. It's absent in a standalone school. Even the labeling is absent.
Your time is up. Thank you.
Thank you. One would think that the Board of Education, for the wrong reasons perhaps, but they would think that they would want all their gifted programs to be standalones, all the regional centers, because of the publicity value in those scores.
Your time is up. Thank you.
I want a little order here, but I'm going to give you 30 seconds to wrap up.
Okay.
Plenty of papers.
Okay. The students who should be in these gifted programs are those whose mental abilities are advanced, of course. The best resolution for situations like this is that both sides get a good deal, better than they have, a win-win situation. I don't see this as a win-win situation for either. It certainly is not for the gifted program. My reason for hoping that Edison would stay as it is that based on my experience in the field, the Edison Center is the best model possible, the best size, and the best setting. It has served Chicago's high-aptitude students for decades, and I believe that it deserves some respect for
Your
this.
time is up.
Thank you. I would like to say one other thing. Totally apart from my presentation, I would like to say that there have been hours spent on this behind the scenes at Chicago Board of Education.
Your time is up, sir. Thank
You
you.
are allowing 120
Thank you,
seconds
sir.
per
Your
parent.
time is up. Thank you.
Okay, can I please have everybody